Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Velus Jones now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Well, the Bears at 3-6 now on the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Pick six last drive. Here's Fields again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they were trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Goff. Going up top. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Taking it right down Broadway. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Bears. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. It usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Another try after the first down sack. Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 36. Here's Goff. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. From the red zone now, Goff. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
This is Swift on the counter. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
On the return, the Bears take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw is Fields. This pass on target, Velus Jones with it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
That's good for a Chicago Bears.
Fields on first down. He'll air this one out for Boyd. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are going to get it back here just past the 35. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Gone. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And in for the Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
They find some open field here. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Montgomery will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then 1 play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Goff gets this one to Chark. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
So the completion good for just 3, and it'll be second down. Here's Goff. This will be caught at about the 5. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up for the first and goal.
Williams. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks,
and that one ended up going backwards.
Williams again. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
And now third and goal coming up. The loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Looking for Hawkinson, and he's got him. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. They'll run right here with Swift. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions continue to pull away here this first half. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
And the Bears first down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Montgomery on the counter. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, here's Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 4th down, Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
1st down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
On 1st down, it's gone. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And a rout is on here in this 1st half.
45. Bears 14. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to throw. Fields. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To the air again, Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense. And they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Gone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Khalif Raymond on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions extend their lead yet again. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return is Jones from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Goff. And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Play action. It's Goff. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. Though certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. Throw caught by Raymond. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Stopped on the play by Kyler Gordon.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Go off a handoff here to Swift. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect, and that is...
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needed to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. Fields now to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Khalif Raymond from 8 yards out. And the Lions take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Bears 14. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. this one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, stack things up and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Lions take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Seibert on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And that flag accepted.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. And he rifles one incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an... And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, Are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now gone. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Swift going to try up the middle. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Seibert's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Chris Board coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Back now at Soldier Field. Down. Fields has to have this one. And now here is another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Goff. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right.
Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Fields. He's got a man, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On play action, Fields. And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, 27 yards. And the Bears get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Fields trying to throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. From the 6. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
Throwing on third. Goff. Open man is Raymond. He's got it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. On 1st and 10, Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. To the air again. Goff. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Ball resting on the 9 on 3rd and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. On now is Seibert for the Lion field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chip in. Seibert able to knock this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Fields. And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 50, here's Fields. And he finds Montgomery complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Fields. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, They might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Lions now are going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. Oh, it springs free. Montgomery loses it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hawkinson. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Goff going to throw it. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. And obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
It feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletion sets. Goff throwing again. Fighting this, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Jones on the return. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They're running the jet sweep with Jones. And some room to work. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just